Thank you. That's another thing. You have to live stream it and record it. So just, we do both, but, just keep that in mind. So with a meeting in general, you need to have rules of procedures are required, and that's per the city code of chapter 34. A chairperson or president should conduct the meeting. One person should speak at a time, and everyone should be treated fairly and equally. When I say everyone should be treated fairly and equally, that's residents and non-residents. If you are allowing public comment, everybody should be given the same amount of time, whether it's 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever the amount of time, everyone should be treated fairly and equally on that, not one person getting preferential treatment. Public participation, this is a really big portion on it. So you're not required to have people speak at a meeting, but you are required to have people speak at a meeting. I mean, to attend a meeting. So this is, again, going into, if you allow a public comment, that you treat everybody, equally and fairly, and that it's, important that you establish the rules of procedure if you do, commence with the public comment period, so that there's fairness and that there's no, appearance of impropriety. So that's just very quick on that one. The city of Albany and the state law does require minutes to be done. There is nothing that the composition of the minutes just have to be at minimum a summary of all motions, proposals, resolutions, and matters voted upon, the attendance, and that they must be made available within 2 weeks. So that's just something you have to do with every meeting you do, whether you vote on, a general good rule is that you always have minutes for every meeting, whether you vote on something or not. And we've been advised as such, so I just want to give you that. And it does not have to be a verbatim account of everything that is said. It could just be as simple as, for example, with our caucus meetings, we generally just discuss the agenda and we just put that in our meeting minutes. And that's very quick. If you guys decide to record the meeting, whether it's audio visual or even with Zoom, just make sure that it's the entire meeting, and it's not, that way it's an accuracy to resolve it. So just keep that in mind. Let me move into the next one. So another thing people don't realize when you become a public officer on a task force or a board or committee is that you are now subject also to the Freedom of Information laws, also known as FOIL. So you're subject to disclosure requirements. So if the media, members of the public want to see what you have work done on, meaning, for example, a report that you have done, it has subject to FOIL and anybody can have access to it, and it cannot be withheld unless there's certain confidentialities on it, but that's another thing. So that's just one little brief thing. This can get a little mundane, but the Office of Corporation Counsel will be able to assist with you guys, because any FOIL requests we get are received through the city clerk's office, and the city clerk will then notify whoever the designee is and work with the Corporation Counsel on assisting with this. Danielle, I see you unmuted.
No, I was gonna let everyone know that typically I get the FOILs and I will direct, and if anyone needs any assistance, I don't mind helping at all. If you initially need assistance in creating your meeting notices, we don't mind providing a certain level of support as you roll out.
Thank you for that one. And then this is just FOILs part 2, and it's, any information available in physical form. This is language that I pulled from their website. And this also may include records that are not physically located at City Hall. So if you are in possession of something and it's part of what is subject to FOIL, you do have to turn that over. And of course, Danielle and the Office of Corporation Counsel will assist you on what it needs to be disclosed. Generally, whenever you're on a board or commission, whether it's for the city or the state, everybody should be well acquainted with the Committee on Open Government. They're the ones who create a lot of the advisory opinions with assistance of their attorneys. They provide some guidance on, how to conduct a public comment, how to conduct, a meeting. They have very good resources there available. And a lot of the stuff that myself, when I'm advising the Common Council, I go to it. So it's a very good resource. They give you cases and analyses of things that you should be mindful of. The one thing that I do want to make this committee aware, because I know with violence coming up, there is a provision that the committee says that, you know, you can ask for a person who's in public comments address, but you cannot compel it. So that's just one thing you have to be mindful of. Let me just, and that is the end of my show. So if anyone has any questions, you know.
What I would say is that JR, for the PowerPoint presentation, if you could make, you know, those printout.
Of course, yes, that was my intent.
And make a PDF and send it to everyone that way.
Mhm.
They have that. I'd also like to get members copies of the last gun violence task force produced a report.
I sent it out.
You did send it out. Okay. All right. So that everyone has that to just kind of look through it. I mean, some of the issues are the same. Circumstances are certainly different, but again, it's just, you know, something for you guys to look through. So at this
I have a
point,
question.
okay. Yep. Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Last time we met, after we met, the next day I got a phone call from Channel 6. And they wanted to ask me what was we working on and what did I think of the task force. So, I mean, I basically told her I didn't want to comment at that time because I was new and we hadn't started anything. And, you know, I didn't think it was my place to give a comment at that particular time.
So what my suggestion would be, and again, we're going to be part of the body, is that's something, once we choose the structure, leadership, that we discuss and decide how that's going to be done. If we create a point person, and we agree that all media inquiries will be dealt with that person, that's what we do. Which I actually think that's probably a good way to do it, so we're not all off saying this, that, and the other. We want to all speak with one voice and be on the same page when we're messaging. So, but we can agree to that.
Yeah. Just real quick, whoever becomes president, vice president of this committee, just be mindful that the number that I read was 13. So the minute that there is 7 of you in a meeting of like this, that is now considered a quorum, and you have to make sure everybody's available. You know, public can participate and then notice it. So just keep that in mind, that like just how when we started the meeting, I said, oh, there's 7 people here. There's a quorum here. So it's whenever a quorum is in place, that's when you have to make sure the meeting is available. The other thing is, if you would make a decision, it needs to be with a minimum of a quorum as well. If you have less than a quorum, you cannot make a determination or a vote on something. So just keep that in mind.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's possible that we can all exchange our phone numbers so we could talk instead of just talking at a meeting? That way we all become more familiar with each other and share our ideas with each other and can move forward.
Yep. As long as it's not 7 of you on a call, it's fine.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'd like to give my number if any member want to call me to discuss whatever.
We're live streaming on Facebook, so if you
Right,
put your
so-
number out now, anyone that's
Don't.
watching the stream is gonna get it.
Call.
We'll help, we'll do it like a tree, a contact tree, and put everyone's
That-
telephone numbers together.
Right.
That with our contact information. Yeah.
That way we can keep each other informed on what's going on in our section of the community or what we work on, instead of we being broadsided by somebody saying something we don't know about. It seems like we're not, informed of what's going on in the community.
Right. And in sync. So, Danielle,
I did put the Nixle information in the
in the
chat.
chat.
I think everyone should sign up for Nixle because you get alerts in real time and you don't necessarily have to wait for a report to be released. And the police are really good about putting information out there.
Okay. Thank you for that, Danielle. So at this point, I think what
Kelly, can I interrupt you one more time? I'm sorry.
Yes, you can.
So first of all, in terms of the quorum means that when we have half, basically, so 7 or more, just to confirm.
Yep, it's a majority. Yes. So with
Okay,
13, 7 is a majority.
Okay. And then the other thing is, in terms of that report that you guys sent out, was there ever like a metric established, or do we have any information on, like, there's a number of recommendations. How would we go about finding, if they were just tossed out, if the Common Council actually followed up on them, and then kind of like what budget numbers they used? Okay, they were allocated $100,000 for the programs that they did. How do we get that data from 10 years ago? Or could that be made available along with that report that we got?
Yeah, what we can do is we'll do a little bit of research. I mean, I've got a packet of all the old meeting notes, minutes, reports, and whatnot. As far as the recommendations from the report, how they're implemented, we'll have to do the research and implement that. And get that to you also. I would say that one example of something that came out of it is Snug. The program Snug was a recommendation, and it came out of that out of the last gun violence task force. So we'll work on getting that information for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
While everyone is here, I just wanted to ask if everyone is fine with the 2nd and 4th of each month. I can just go ahead and automatically notice the meeting dates for those meetings. We'll just automatically have them noticed already. Is everybody fine with that?
And that's 2nd and 4th Thursdays.
Yeah, of each month.
Yes, I'm good with it.
Okay.
That works for me as well.
Me as well.
For me as well.
Okay, I think we're good to go on that. And again, I mean, right now we're trying to get going, and we need to meet and so that twice a month, and it may last a year, but it may not. Maybe we'll have a lull and we'll have a chance to reduce the frequency. But right now, I think the two meetings are necessary just to make sure we're covering ground properly and getting ready. So, and so I guess with that, we've pretty much accomplished everything we wanted to for this particular meeting. So our next meeting
Be the 28th.
So everyone got that in their calendar. It'll be same method, 5:30, and we'll get the link out to everyone. Does anyone have anything else? If not, just gonna move that we adjourn. Everybody okay with that? Okay.
Got a second.
Second. All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
So I look forward to working with you all. Be safe, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Okay.
Take
Hi,
care.
everyone.
Okay.
Have a nice
Thank
weekend.
Uh,
Thank you.
uh,